But this is what we're starting with. This is the fireplace. It's a ventless gas log system. It is just a blank wall. It's on a 45 in the corner. This hideous granite surround was around it. That's just builder grade stuff. It's just what they do to finish it off. What we're going to do is take this drab, boring fireplace. We're going to stone this whole wall with ledger panels, which is real stone. It's all remnants glued together. Anyway, you'll see it when we get it in here. But right now, I've got to get this marble off of the wall, take off the casings that are over here, the chair rail and the bottom casing and the quarter round down there, and get it down to a blank slate. We're going to be putting the real stone on the wall with mastic. Mastic, I don't know if you know what it is, but mastic is what you used to put on backsplash behind your kitchen countertops. It's just a white, pre-mixed, tile-setting substance. It's the glue that holds the stuff on the wall. It goes straight on the sheetrock. There's no need for backer board. There's no need for chicken wire. We could put these up with liquid nails, and I still may go that route. It really is just going to depend on what this looks like behind here, what kind of substrate I've got behind that. But the stone will go on here. We're not doing anything to the fireplace itself as far as the actual guts and the mechanisms and what it works with. We're not going to put any trim around it up top. We're going to leave it modern. We're going to leave it clean. Do what?
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah. All right, so I've kind of grouped these into light, medium, and dark because they're natural stone. So on this side, we've done most of our light colors because they have mostly light stones in them. These in the middle, these two rows in the middle, I've grouped as a mid-range because they kind of are half and half, with half of the darker stones and half of the lighter stones. And then these have mostly dark stones in them, so I'm calling those two rows the darks. I'll be going along, this is not all the stone I'll be using, but I'll be going along as I open other cases and arranging them the same way. In a perfect world, you would lay all of your stone, every last one of them out, and group them all. But in this case, this is all the deck I have to work with, so this is what we got. Next step will be starting to install the first rows. Okay, time for the first piece. This is type 1, otherwise known as mastic. It's pre-mixed. There's no mixing. All you got to do is put this straight on the sheetrock. It'll hold it up. This is what they put backsplashes and things like that on with. Stone, tile, all that stuff. I've got a notched trowel, which I'm probably not even going to be using a notched end. And then I've got just a little spatula so that I can get down to the bucket. I'm going to be applying the mastic directly to the back of the stone rather than on the wall, because if you put it on the wall, you're going to get a thin coat of it, and it's going to be a nice smooth, even coat. The back side of this stone, where it's going to be attaching, is not smooth and even. So I need to put the mastic on here so that I'm filling in these gaps and making it go a little bit past and bubbling up. You can even do it in dollops on here also. I've already pre-cut the edge on this first piece. It'll go right into the corner just like that. And as I go, I'm going to have to take my time because these are fairly heavy stones. And you're going to have to wait for the first couple of rows to kind of get dry and cure and start setting before you go putting more weight on top of them and you cause a ripple effect to knock all the stones back off of the wall. Let's get 2 dollops. Chris can edit this later. When you get on the wall, you can kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit. That creates a little suction. And then it sticks. Piece number 1. As I'm going along, I'm just using a little 2-foot level. I know that the floor is fairly level, but as I'm going, just to kind of check myself, I'm putting a level on it and making sure that this is sitting pretty level. because as you go, there will be slight imperfections in the stone. They're natural. They're not man-made, so nothing on them is going to be exactly perfect. And they don't have to be absolutely perfect. Each and every stone does not have to be absolutely level and plumb and all that. But as a whole, each row, you want to keep it fairly level, because if you don't, then it may compound itself along the way, and before you know it, you'll be a whole inch out of level after you've done 5 or 6 courses. I'm cutting all these pieces with a 4.5-inch angle grinder. It's just an angle grinder that's got a diamond blade on it. It'll cut right through these stones. They're really thin. These aren't expensive. I don't know what I paid for this because I've had it for quite a while. Maybe you find one for $30, $40, $60. I don't know. I get all my stuff at Lowe's. I got all this stone at Lowe's. They've got just about everything you need for projects like this. These stones, they take all the work out of stone masonry so that simple projects or complicated projects can be made simple, so that the average homeowner who has no masonry skills and no ability to figure out how to lay stones, this takes all the guesswork out of it. You just butt them next to each other. It's so easy to do. The mastic, you don't even have to mix it. I mean, all right, I'm coming on up with it. There were a few little tricky parts. There's this little black ledge right here that runs along. It just drops down 1/2 inch and it doesn't quite come out all the way to the edge. It's some sort of flange that you would put something like a paneling or a wallboard behind, something that is other than the irregular face of this stone. There was really no way to remove it. It's not something I can take off. It goes all the way up underneath the entire firebox. I couldn't flare it out and try and tuck the stone behind it because, again, the front of this stone is waving in and out. My wife thought maybe taking a hammer and just beating it backwards and knocking it in was going to work. I didn't like that idea. That's not going to work for me. So I had to make a couple of little intricate touchy cuts around the corners. But now that I'm going up along the jambs, you can see on this side, keeping it nice and tight there. And it's coming along really nice. And again, I'm checking it with my level from time to time just to make sure that I'm staying fairly level. If I get a little bit out, a little bit close to the edge of the bubble on the level, it's really not a big deal. It's fine. I can get it back the next course. Occasionally, you might have to take some little tiny things and shim up on one side of it to bump a piece up because maybe it's not tall enough. Again, these are natural stones. They're not perfect. So a little bit of finagling. So up here at the top, we have the ceiling coming down at this angle, but also at the same time, you've got the vault in this ceiling going up. So what we're going to have to do is make a couple of compound cuts. And I don't know if you can see it from here or not, but you'll have to cut not only this downflowing angle here, but then this also is going away. So you'll cut this angle first, going that way, and then you'll back cut a bevel on the backside so that when it fits against the ceiling, it looks nice and tight like that and doesn't leave a shadow. If you did not back cut it, it would have the depth of the stone, that distance away from the wall, and it would leave a big shadow up on the top